All right, so I just went ahead and finished up with the welcome to Shadowbringers moment. That first shocking instance, we'll say, as I've gotten into this expansion. And it was absolutely wild. And I want to talk about it because I actually had a lot of extra thoughts after watching that. It's really hard to kind of go to sleep, which, yeah, that was difficult. But I'm going to talk about this moment. Just as a note, there are some spoilers ahead. The little boy's done. He's done. I'm sorry. There's no way we're getting there in time.
Ulrich!
Oh! Oh, Ted's lead! Ted's lead!
We have to run! Tesleen! No!
Oh. Oh, Tesleen, no. And he looks just like, so...
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it.
That went south so fast.
The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
Oh, she got infected. She got infected by the light.
Hello there.
David Owen's not right now. Thank you for grabbing a cup. Oh, she's puking. She just what the shit is wrong with her eyes? Oh, and she's crying. What the shit is that? What the hell? What is that noise? Oh, that is horrifying.
No, 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 no!
That is some nightmare shit. Oh my goodness. What the shit was that? What the shit was that? That was disgusting! Even more gruesome.
Welcome to Shadowbringers. Welcome to Shadowbringers. Quite the start to the zones, huh? But hey, look at the bright side, it's all up high, better days are coming, have fun.
The fact that she was like going through the visceral reaction of her change, the stomach, the did someone just say, damn, she ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3? That is such a reference. But the fact that she actually like viscerally changed and they added the sound effects to it. Like the fact that it was just like, it sounded like you could hear her, the inside of her changing. Oh my God, that was...
What was in that stew?
I'm not eating the Sue. I'm not eating anything like that. Holy shit, that was cool. Everyone has talked about how Shadowbringers is like one of their favorite expansions, if not their best. And the reason why, because again, the overall arching thought that we are having is that the world of the first has always been encompassed by, or has been overly encompassed by light. We actually find out by the ghostly Arbird, who says, yeah, we were deemed essentially villains because we went and killed all the shadow in this world. So light just completely swelled and flooded everywhere, killing and sapping all the life in this world, in the world of the first. That is interesting to put into comparison, because if we look at how this is going contrast to what our story was, we essentially were supposed to be the warrior of light. We were the warrior of light. We stood for all what was good. We fought back the primals. We fought back the Garlean Empire and, Askians and dragons and all the evils in the world. But it's cool because it shows a huge contrast to where we are as far as our story is progressing. That's one bit. The other bit that I actually really like, and especially the way that it is showing, is that when you have this idea, it goes counterintuitive what you would think light is. If you're thinking light in all of its normal instances, either in video games or lore or anything, you think holy, you think, peaceful, serenity, calm, things like that. Shadow would be the opposite: darkness, depravity, gluttony, things of those lines. This is actually showing light almost as a villain, which is so interesting because it is so counterintuitive to, and not only everything that the Warrior of Light has done up until this point, to where now he is like considered the warrior, he's going to become the Warrior of Darkness. You have to, but it's interesting to show that how too much good can be actually a bad thing. Now, while this was all happening, of course, we are suffering for our friend Alice. Tesleen is gone, and unfortunately she's going through this change, and there's nothing that we really could have done to stop that change, perhaps. That's a different thought, but we hurt more for Alice because Alice was like that was her best friend for the past year. Since we were gone, that was her best friend. And just in an instant, just in a random afternoon, possibly one of the kindest souls, the people who like stood there and took care of those who were going to pass, like had that happen to her, she doesn't even get the respect of just taking, the poison and going out on her own way. She was forced into this, which makes it that much darker, I guess is the best way to put it. Terrifying stuff. And then of course, as she's going through, she goes through the transition, she apologizes. Alice is just an absolute wreck, and she's like, I'm done messing around. I've gotten all the research that I need against this enemy. We need to do something right now. She almost has this like resolved focus, which is really, really cool. I really like that change from her, seeing how she grew in that instant. That was actually something very cool for me. I do also have to give it to the art directors and the screen, or whoever developed the scene and all that, because when it flashes to Helric, and this is what stuck to me, when it flashes to Helric, who she's been caring for, Tesleen's been caring for, it was almost this moment of like shadow, like he was imposing this upon her. And that was her last image, was to see these lifeless white eyes staring at her as she is going through immeasurable pain. It was such a good contrast, because it really hammered home the fact that this is like horrendous. This is far worse than, any natural predator that you would really see. This is literally the embodiment of like, we'll say, a natural force. And this is what happens with holy light, or light, I should say, or what we would normally constitute as good. That's what's so wild about this whole like startup and this setup, this particular scene. Overall, it really does set a really good standard, and I'm actually very glad that I went with Alice. I don't know what happens with the Alphino story, and I'll find out here this Friday when I actually go through it, but what's important to note, at least in my mind, is that they are not pulling any punches with this expansion. If this is how it is opening up, if this is how the expansion is going to set up, and this is what it's going to be like, this is going to be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I'm excited. I'm hopeful for this ride. I'm thinking that it's going to be good. So yeah, I actually did make a video talking about my Shadowbringers reaction. I actually put the video itself, as well as the analysis of the trailer and my thoughts and predictions of what's going to happen in this next expansion. And if you want to see that, you can click this video here. Otherwise, stay caffeinated, folks.